Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're back at the laundromat, and we had a lot of stuff break. We also have a parking lot issue. There's a homeless person living in that red car, and they've been there for a couple of weeks now. They were there a few months ago. We put a sticker on, they left, and then they came back. And there's some kids' toys here that have been here for a few days too, which is really weird. But the other day, I came by, and the homeless person had another homeless person by their vehicle and drinking a beer. So I'd really prefer they not be there. I don't want them to make my customers feel uncomfortable. I've never seen them use a laundromat or in the laundromat. I've asked people at the laundromat, they've never seen them in there. And this was full of boxes, so I was trying to figure out where that came from. And I did. Rooftop units. So I talked to someone else at the laundromat, and they said that I think Vasa, which is a gym right next to our laundromat, got a bunch of new rooftop units. So that's what that is from. I learned some other things about Vasa, too, we might talk about later on. But first, let's see how many quarters are gone. This is after just like, is it a day? I think it's a day. So there's quite a few quarters gone, but this week felt like it was fairly slow before that. So the last weekend, we had 936 come out of here, which is a little bit slow. And then this is an okay amount, but when I counted it all up, it ended up being 676. So we had about 1,600 for the week, which is a little less than we have been getting. And then I put another green sticker on. I decided to do it. And the other thing is, it's a lady. She's not even parked in one spot. She's like crossed over in the other spot. If you're gonna park there for 3 weeks, at least park in one spot. So checking the vending machines first, and I said things aren't working well. Our cleaner said that some of the vending slots weren't working, and I was trying to ask her, well, which ones, because testing all of them takes a very long time. It's just kind of a pain. And she didn't reply until I was gone and said it was the Hershey's, so I'll have to test that at some point. But there was a decent amount of money in there, though, and I know we keep restocking. Funny, I touched the Hershey's right there, but and I did notice one of the other cookie things was messed up. I fixed that. So, but people are buying them and getting snacks, and someone got snacks while I was there, and it worked, so that's good to see. This pop machine had issues this week where someone said that it wasn't working at all, and then while I was there earlier, the Coke stopped working, so I went back over there, and I got everything working. I tested it, everything was working but the Coke. I got the Coke working, so that felt a little light, but that could be because it wasn't working for a little while. Again, I swear that's how vending machines work. And here I got another call saying the Tide took their money, and you can see one is jammed down there, which has happened a few times too. So this machine worked well for a while, but the last 2 months I think it's jammed 3 times. So I'm not sure exactly how to fix that or what to do there, but we might have to look at something there too. If you own a laundromat, the theme is learn to fix stuff because it will break all the time. That's just how it works. We had some machines giving us issues too, and one of them, I'll show you here in a little bit, is one we do not want to give us issues. Alright, here is the vending machine, and this change machine has worked fantastic for me. Many of you may remember my struggles with my other change machine that you can see is behind the red bucket. This one's worked great, and then I kept having issues and it kept jamming up, and I'm like, oh great, now this one is going to give me issues. What are we doing here? Open it up, and I saw something in there that should not be in there. It was a Susan B. Anthony dollar. So that dollar was kind of jamming things up, got that out, and it worked just fine. I did look up to see if those are worth anything, and it looks like most of them are not worth any, like $1.05 or something. There are some rare ones, error ones maybe, that are worth a lot more, but I don't think I had that. And people ask all the time if I look at all the quarters, check them. I don't. Once in a while, if I see a real old one, I'll check it just to see if it's silver. If I have a bunch in my hand, I'll check the edges to see if they're silver. But I'm not going through there looking for error quarters. That would just take so much time. I know other people love doing it. Other people love to get their hands on quarters. I don't. Look at me. See? I'm checking one right there, but it's only 19 cents. So that's a pretty good amount for the vending machine. This is the soap machine, which seemed to have a pretty good amount in there too. And this should be a lot quicker than that last one with me fiddling with the machine. I figured I'd show you how I fiddle with it and not cut it all out. But there you go. That was simple. And that's a little more than we've had. And then the pop machine definitely was light. So it's been doing really good with over $40 each week. And this week was definitely not that much. So again, could have been because it wasn't working right. Hopefully, now that it is working right, we won't have any more issues. All right, right into checking quarters in the machines. First, I've got to find the right key. There we go. That is one of the fullest. That's the fullest I've ever seen that machine. So that was a great sign. So I said it might be light this week, but when I emptied the front machines, which I do twice a week, there was a lot of quarters in the front machines. So I was thinking maybe there's just not as many people needing quarters this week. They already have all the quarters they need, so they aren't using the change machine. And there'll just be a whole lot of quarters in these machines. And so far, it's looking pretty good. So we can cross our fingers. We've been real steady the last few weeks, almost exactly the same. So it'd be nice to really get a bump and increase our sales here. Let's see. And these machines don't have any error codes. That's always good. We'll show you ones that do here a little bit. And there's a decent amount in these, not a ton. It's all right. My front machines, the four in the very front, which I do last for my washers, always have the most money by far. I still have not fixed the soap drawer, but last week I did go in the back and look around to see if we had an extra one, and I did not see one. I wasn't spending a ton of time looking, so I did actually try. And these coin boxes are very light. There is not much in those at all. So while we had more in the back machines, I'm not sure if these middle machines are helping us out much here. Usually there's more in them. So that's how it works every week. You get a glimmer of hope and an idea you might break a record, and then your hopes are just dashed. It's okay. It's still fun. Alright, that machine on the left there has been giving us error codes, but then I unplug it or, turn the breaker off, turn it back on. It works fine. I run through a cycle, it works fine. And just every couple of weeks, it gives an error code and stops working. But when it does run, it's really loud. So, like when it does its spin cycle, it's normal every other time, but when it's doing its spin cycle, it sounds like an airplane about to take off. And I don't know if that's just because there's no clothes in there, no weight to kind of slow it down a little bit, but it's definitely working. And some people had said it leaked before too, but every time I run it, it does not leak at all. These feel a little lighter than normal too. So like I said, my hopes are slowly being dashed. That's okay. Maybe the front machines will make up for it. Or this one right here. This one's going to have a ton. I can feel it. I was thinking if that was the door, it wasn't. No, there's almost nothing in that one. Okay. And there's a little bit more in that one. Still not amazing. This one's probably the record breaker right here, though. Nope, can't get into it. There we go. Still not that great. Alright. We might not be breaking a record, but we'll still count it up and see what we got. Oh, that one's better. That one had a little more in it than I thought there would be. And this one, not bad either. Okay. Now we'll go to the front. And this is something I try to avoid. This is my biggest machine, a 60-pounder right there. It has an error code, and it wasn't turning off when I turned the power on and off, which is how I fix things. So it was something to do with it not filling up with water all the way. So, and I didn't have my keys with me to check the machine because my other contractor who worked on these a few weeks ago. That's a good one. Had used them and not given them back, so he's going to go check it out and see if we can get it working. Could just be a screen clogged or something. We'll see. This one, pretty good. And you know what I did right here? I didn't notice it about right here. Usually, I dump my quarters from the front in the other bucket and count them separately, and I didn't do that this time. I just dumped them all in the other one. So we still can look at some interesting stuff and stats. There was some in there, but not as much as normal, I don't think, probably because that's an air code. But the last few weeks, I've been able to see how much is in the front machines versus the back machines. This week, we are just doing the front machines over the weekend. So this is the bucket I filled up over the weekend. So I've been happy if we've had over 2,000 quarters for the whole week. And so we'll see what those front machines had over the weekend. I know it's not the same as before and not a good way to spot trends, but sometimes you mess up and don't remember what you're doing. Like right now, there we go. And there is, the suspense is killing all of us, I know. Oh, over 1,000 quarters in the front. Okay, that's not bad. Now, we will get the rest of those quarters in there, which is a fairly large bucket, fairly heavy. I still, knock on wood, have not like broken the handle on that thing while I'm carrying it. I try to carry it from the bottom or the side because I don't want quarters all over the laundromat, and I feel like one day that's going to happen. Either a big bucket or some other bucket's going to break, or going to slip, or going to drop it of some kind, and there's just going to be quarters everywhere, and it'll probably take like 2 hours to pick them all up. For some reason, I mean, I know why. Quarters are just really annoying to pick up. They're kind of long and flat and relatively heavy, and especially when I grab a lot at once, it just doesn't work well. So we're just going to try really hard not to do that. And if I do it, hopefully at least we get it on video so you can see it, and it serves some purpose of entertaining people. All right, for this, we've been trying to get over 5,000 quarters for all of them put together. The last few weeks I haven't quite got there. I've gotten really, really close. And then our record is like 5,600 quarters or something, which we actually hit a couple months ago. And so, like I've been saying, I really wish we could break a record. Maybe with winter coming, school is in session for some people now, we'll break that record. And yes, yesterday my kids started going. I took them to school again. I can't believe school has started already. That was an incredibly short summer. And I don't know why they're going to school this early either, but I don't control that. They don't ask me nor give me a choice for when the school starts. All right. Getting closer. My kids are 13 now, if you're wondering, going into 7th grade. I have two 13-year-old twins who are boy-girl, and then a 5-year-old daughter. Crazy how time flies. So I'm hoping to get over 5, and I'm thinking it's going to be really close. And when I dump those in, I'm like, it's close. I do have a few more. Come on. And at this point, he's not going to get to 5. Come on. That's okay. 48, 41. Really close. Almost the same as what we had the last few weeks. So if there's one thing we have, it's consistency. Alright, now we'll check the dryers. I've been really, okay, I'm gonna say, I've been really good about not sticking my finger in the camera frame. But then, there I go, but I moved it. This is the dryer that works but has no heat. Last week there was nothing in it. This week there were 3. That's not bad. There were people doing laundry while I was there. And I actually delayed going here a little bit because I was looking at my cameras, and it was packed earlier in the day. And I was like, oof, let's just wait till some people leave. And so there were still people here, but not quite as many as there were earlier. Of course, we'll have the small laundromat count too. We'll have a separate video for that. If you're new here, we count both of these every week. We just hope the sales keep going up. It is fun to collect quarters. It's more fun for me if there's not people there, because then I can do commentary while I'm watching. And I'm not trying to like avoid them with my cart that's full of quarters, because when it does get full of quarters, it's real heavy and doesn't steer very well. And so I really try not to run into people with that. I don't feel like that's a good thing to do as the owner. That machine is still acting funky. So we've been fixing a lot of the machines, the easy stuff we can do. Unfortunately, we're starting to get, some major breakages in some of the machines. Like one of the hips washers, I think, has a motherboard issue. That dryer, what was wrong with that one? Is it a motherboard too? I think it might be a board issue. Those are very expensive to fix and tricky to figure out. So, and I talked to the old laundromat owner who used to, own this laundromat. And he told me, he's like, yep, every 6 months I had one of the big companies come through, fix everything. I spent thousands of dollars on those repairs. And then over the next 6 months, things would slowly break. We'd fix the stuff we could, the easy stuff. And then they'd come back in 6 months and spend thousands of dollars getting them working again. And just a repeat process over and over again. A lot of people might say, well, why don't you buy new machines and not have that problem? Well, even the new machines will break and have issues, and then you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on new machines as well. And most of our machines have been completely rehabbed and are in pretty good shape. All right, here are the dryers. So we want to get at least $1,600 at the bare minimum, hopefully more. That would be $400 from those. And we have been accumulating more quarters at this laundromat too. So over time, we have the change machine where people exchange dollars for quarters. Those dollars are the dollars I take home. So I count those, I figured out. That's the cash we take out of the business. So it's not really profit because people are exchanging quarters for dollars. But it is the cash I take home, so it's sort of like profit. But then every few months, we tend to accumulate more quarters than we give out. So people do bring in more quarters than take from the business. So we'll take a big bucket to the bank, and they'll count it up, and then we'll deposit that as well. So last time we did that, we had $1,000 of extra quarters, I think, from here at least. But that is not quite oh, wait, I'm not done yet. It is 1,700. Okay. That was actually a better dryer week compared to the washers than the last few weeks, I think. So again, it was actually pretty hot this last weekend, close to 100. Went to a car show, drove the Countach. It has air conditioning, but it's 1980s air conditioning from Italy, so it doesn't work very well. But I'm saying that because yesterday, Thursday, it was 60 degrees here in Colorado and raining. Today it's like 65 degrees in a little bit of rain. So pretty rare for us to have this cold of weather this time of year. But yeah, there was our crazy albatross of a week back in April, which is still strange. But I'd love to have another one of those. I keep saying that. If I keep saying it enough, it will happen. I will manifest another awesome, crazy week. Maybe I need to write that down somewhere and just stare at it. Anyway, here we are. More recently, and you can see very consistent, had a few dips, and almost exactly the same as last week. So if I look at my raw numbers, which I can see and you can't, I'm sorry, I'm cheating that way as the business owner. 1756 this week total. Last week was 1783. The week before that was 1754. The week before that, 1855. So, incredibly consistent here. It'd be really nice if we could have a breakthrough, like I said. Maybe winter will do that. From what I hear, winter is busier. People also use dryers more, because a lot of people might hang dry their clothes in the summer. And I guess we'll just find out how that all goes. And there's also a few things we could do to increase sales. We could raise the prices on our washers, because people keep telling me they're the cheapest in town, which is good, I think, in one way, because maybe people will come use them more than other laundromats. But, if we already have that, people looking for the cheapest option, I mean, we could still raise prices a little bit and still be the cheapest option in town. So that's something we could do. People have talked about adding card readers. That's pretty expensive, pretty time intensive. That could up sales at some point, though, if we have credit card readers and have more convenience. So there's some things we can do still. But I'm still holding out hope that these just keep going up and up, because this isn't my only business. I have the other laundromat, the liquor store, mini mart. We flip houses. We have rental properties. I've got my real estate brokerage, my online business for Invest for More. There's a lot of different things going on. And this has been doing well. It makes money. It's been fun. But it's not my primary only focus, my only thing I'm doing. But I still want it to do well and spend some time on it. All right. Now, at the end, the lady with her car, I did see she had tried to peel that sticker off and not done a very good job, which it depends on the person, right? If they're being a jerk, if they're a repeat offender over and over again, sometimes it doesn't bother me when the sticker is on there and they can't get it off. Now, if it's just one time, they're nice about it, I might feel a little bad the sticker doesn't come off. But we put this sticker on this car before. She doesn't use the laundromat at all. She doesn't do any business in the parking lot. She's kind of taking up more than one space. I mean, someone could have parked beside her, but it'd be really tight. Her tires were over the line. So I didn't feel too awful about it. And we'll see if, I think she was getting in her car to leave as I was leaving. And we'll see next time, or I'll check my cameras tonight and see if she's still there or not. And the other issue, too, I don't know if I mentioned this before, the DMV is right next to us. That lot is all the way full multiple times during the week. So that's why we put the big signs up in front of our spot for the 4, laundromat only parking signs. We get 4 designated spots. DMV parks in our spots all the time, although it's been better since we put up those big signs. But DMV people park in our spots because the lot gets so full. So if she's taking up a spot, or 2 spots even, that is also a big issue and a problem, and another reason why she should not be parking there. All right, that's the laundromat. Hopefully the pop machine keeps working. Hopefully the vending machine keeps working. Hopefully the soap machine keeps working. Hopefully we can fix the big washer. And eventually we can get the other machines working better too. And then in the laundromat, or the small laundromat, that's a whole nother load of issues. No pun intended. That was a good one. There are machines and different things going on if you haven't seen those videos yet. All right, let me know what you think. We'll be back soon.